First Responder is a great class for a high school student to take because what it does is it sets you up for a career in the healthcare field. We cover basic first aid, we cover stabilization of fractures, we cover your basic life support measures, things that you can do to keep someone alive until the paramedics are able to respond.
It's an excellent class for anyone to take, but high schoolers especially. In the First Responder class, we work very hard teaching the students what to do in the case of an emergency. They do CPR, check to see if the person is breathing. If they're not breathing, they know when to call for help, when to open the airway. They also know if someone is bleeding, how to bandage it and call 911. It's really a very, very good class for those first few minutes that someone is on scene. Instead of running around screaming and shouting, they're very controlled, very confident, and they know what to do with the person until they're ready to get transported. There you go.
One of the most important things we teach them is how to keep themselves safe while trying to rescue other people. Chances are that they're going to have the greatest impact taking care of the younger brothers and sisters. Could be elderly family members that live with them, or it could just be other kids. Just last week we finished a CPR certification course, and we actually gave them the materials to go home and teach their friends and family how to do CPR as part of the training they received here getting their initial CPR certification.
A person can do a lot of things with a degree or a certificate in EMS from CCA. You can take advantage of any one of a number of jobs that are available in the healthcare field, the traditional path being to work on an ambulance. There's opportunities in the fire service as a firefighter EMT or firefighter paramedic. There's opportunities in hospital-based services. There's opportunities in the hospital to work in the emergency department. You could be a flight medic, you could work for Air Life and get to fly critically injured and ill patients in a helicopter, or you could even work for an organ recovery team. There are a lot of opportunities for someone with a certificate in EMS.
First Responder gives them an introduction of what they may encounter in an EMT class. If they're successful in the First Responder class and they find that this is something that interests them, it gives them a good taste. It's the basic core curriculum out of an EMT class. It gives them a good idea of what they would be up against if they chose to come in and take an EMT certification.
CCA's EMS program is one of the foremost programs that there is out there, in the fact that the student has the opportunity to be able to work through not only the didactic part, but they also work through simulations, and they have the opportunity to watch themselves in the simulation rooms after the fact and critique what they are doing right, instead of just someone saying, you did this or you didn't do this. When they see themselves, they truly have a much bigger grasp on how they're doing.
The EMS program here is one of the most technologically advanced I've ever been a part of. I've been an educator for about 17 years, and the people that don't know what resources we have here would blow their mind, and the people that do teach this would be really impressed by what we have available to us. A good example of technology is the mannequins that we have. They can be manipulated in many different ways. They're very interactive, and the advantage of not having the instructor standing there with the student doesn't distract them from interacting with the patient. It teaches them to obtain the information from the patient by touching them and talking to them.
Hello, sir. My name's Herbie. I'm with the ambulance. What's going on today?
He's really sick.
Having a little bit of chest pain. You're having some chest pain? Okay, when did this start?
The simulation environment that we have is unlike anything else. We actually have vehicles, we have houses, we have situations that you can place the victims or patients into that are about as realistic as you can possibly make it. And when I consider that a lot of my education in the past has been in the garage of a fire station with a white sheet hanging against the back of the door, this is the exact polar opposite.
Really, it starts with our faculty. We have a wide range of experienced faculty from the fire service, from the private ambulance service, and from hospital-based service, and everyone is very committed to student success.
The best part about teaching the first responders to high school kids is seeing their enthusiasm and giving them a sense of direction. I myself was a high school student when I entered my EMT program, and it just was the career I took off with.
I taught the first responder class in the first year that it was offered, and that was a great experience. The students were very enthusiastic, and it was nice to teach a different population that's just entering the field and see that raw enthusiasm and energy. It went very well, and I think they got a lot out of it. Some of my students from that first responder class came and took the EMT basic class here and were very successful.
The high school students that we get here are better students than adult students because they're still in the student mind frame. They understand going home and studying, coming in prepared for exams. They're more interactive with the instructors, and they just seem to be more in a student mindset.
The students need a fairly solid human anatomy, human biology background. Both of those are going to help them understand the whys of things happening in the human body. The other area that's important is having a strong background in reading and writing the English language.
You need to have good English skills because you need to be able to communicate with people. This is a people business, and you need to be able to communicate with others and work well as a team, and the basis of that is English skills. Above and beyond that, if you were to go and take a medical terminology class and start to learn to use the language that we use, that would probably be a very good idea.
When we teach first responder in a high school, it's with one of our adjunct faculty, someone who's working in the field, and those folks come to the high school a couple days a week and teach usually during a regular period in the high school schedule. This is a great thing for a high school student to take a class like first responder and find out while getting college credit if this is an area that he or she wants to go into.
The best thing about being a paramedic is making a difference in an individual's life. Anytime they call us is their biggest crisis. When you make a real difference and you actually save a life is hugely rewarding. And as an educator, I try to impart that onto the students so that they can understand they're making a difference too, or they have the potential to make a difference.